Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Mixed Text and Politics. I'm going to do a final polling update just before Tuesday's election here in Texas for the governor's race. So let's take a look at RCP. I've been looking at three different websites for this data. The first one is Real Clear Politics, and right now it has Greg Abbott with a 9.2% advantage, and they're ranking this a lean GOP, and they're projecting a GOP hold. So according to them, they are predicting that Greg Abbott will hold on to the seat. He will be reelected for a third term. 9.2% is a comfortable lead. As we take a look at the last few polls that have come out, he's ahead by 13 with University of Houston poll, 9, 9. He has +4, and registered voters with Univision poll, and University of Texas has him up by 11. If we go all the way down, Abbott has been ahead in just about every poll since, actually every poll since June. Abbott has had a lead of anywhere from 1 to 15% lead. I don't think it would be a 15% win for Abbott, but I do think that this 9.2% falls within the range that I'm predicting. My projection is. And let's go over to the race to the White House. They're giving Abbott an 88% chance to win on Tuesday, to win re-election, with Jumpin' Jack Flap, 11.9% chance. So just a 12% chance for Beto. They're rating this race as likely Republican with a 7.9% margin of victory for Greg Abbott. He's ahead in the polls, in the polling average. He's ahead 50.8% to 43.5, and the most recent poll has come out, and YouGov has Abbott ahead by 7 points with 817 likely voters, and a lot of the other polls here are the same from RCP, but they are projecting Abbott will be reelected, and Abbott has a much higher favorability rating than Beto, Jumpin' Jack Flap. I'm sorry. He's Robert Francis has a 42% favorability and 49% unfavorable rating. Greg Abbott is viewed 49% favorably and 44.8% unfavorably. Now, generally, yes, Abbott has made a lot of conservatives mad with some of the things that he did during the pandemic. But he has, I guess, redeemed himself in a lot of ways. He's been pushed a little bit further to the right with the abortion law, with voter integrity law, and constitutional carry and things like that. And while I did not vote for Abbott, like I said in the past, in the primaries, I voted for Allen West. I thought he was a stronger candidate. I thought he would have been better on the border. He was just my pick, but hey, the people spoke, and Abbott won in the primaries by a landslide, and he's generally viewed favorably by most. You know, people don't really have a negative view of him as far as him as a person. They may not like his policies so much. A lot of people don't like his policies. He also has a lot of support as well. He's a fundraising machine, that is for certain. But when you think of Greg Abbott, you think of more of a nice guy, I guess, and he's not really polarizing like Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump, or even he's even now the media is after Carrie Lake and people like that. Look at Greg Abbott. Yes, he has stirred up a bit in the media with busing illegal immigrants to these liberal cities, and that is viewed very popular, actually. By the way, according to the polls, a lot of people do support that. Let's go to 538. Greg Abbott is very likely to win re-election for governor. A 98 in 100 chance out of 40,000 simulations. Greg Abbott comes out on top 98% of the time, and just 2% for Jumpin' Jack Flap. The average is about 55% to 42.8%, which is about the margin he won by in 2018. And here they go. They list all the polls. and they give it ratings. So this one that came out where he's up 9% has an A rating. 10% has an A minus rating from Emerson College. YouGov, where he's up 13, they rate it as a B plus. And then there's some other polls down there which are rated lower, like Beacon Research and University of Texas at Tyler, BC rating. But they're projecting Greg Abbott to win re-election. And we just take a look at the primary results, and I think it is a slight indicator of what will happen on election day. Greg Abbott received 1.3 million votes to capture 2/3 of the Republican primary vote. Allen West, who I supported, came in second. And when we go down to the Democrat primary, uh, Jumpin' Jack Flap got 91% of the vote, but he didn't really have any. There wasn't really anybody that was challenging him that would make any splash. Like Greg Abbott had a little bit more strong contenders against him, the stronger opponents, I should say. But Beto has the name. Sorry, Jumpin' Jack Flap has name recognition. He has Hollywood behind him. He has George Soros behind him. So, I mean, it was no surprise that he was going to become the nominee. I will say this, that I think he is Greg Abbott's toughest opponent yet, just because of his name recognition. And I have been saying this from the get-go that Greg Abbott will win by 8 to 10%. I'm not going to say he's going to win by 12 to 15% like some are predicting. I think 8 to 10% is more likely because, like I said, because of Robert Francis has name recognition. He has a lot of money coming in from out of state. A lot of he brought what's his name, Will Ferrell, who I never liked anyway, pandering, voting, knocking on doors, trying to get celebrities to back him. But we don't want that here in Texas. Beto is Jumpin' Jack Flaps is too radical. He's already said he wants to take AR-15. Then he backtracked on that. He is far too radical. He's not going to. It's not going to be enough. Yes, he can hold rallies and people show up, but at the end of the day, the Texans will speak. We will speak. I casted my vote already for Greg Abbott, and he will be reelected. That is my projection. I think it is an 8 to 10% margin of victory, which is solid. And I think the next time, if he does go for reelection in 2026, I don't think I think it's going to be a much easier victory, because I don't think there's going to be anybody with a big name like him to come and challenge Greg Abbott if Greg Abbott decides to run again in 2026. The economy, Texas has had a strong economy. Abbott has done a great job here in Texas with the job numbers and bringing businesses here, creating opportunities. I will give him that. Inflation, is a top issue for people, and I just don't see him losing this race, because Texas is a red state. Republicans will come out to vote for Greg Abbott and vote against Biden policies, which have greatly helped us get into the position we're in with the border and the inflation situation going on. And I just don't see Robert Francis being successful here. It'll be a third attempt at a big race, and he is going to lose. And we will see Greg Abbott reelected. And Texas will remain red. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.